All right. What do you say we go smoke a pipe? Oh, it is disgusting out today. It is humid as all get out. It's thick out here. Yeah. So we'll see how well this lights up. For a few different reasons. And hopefully don't get rained on. Oh boy. Okay. Now, in my exploration of all that is tobacco pipe smoking, I'm still trying to figure out what I like in every kind of category. You know, cherry Cavendish is my favorite, which if you don't know what Cavendish is, by all means feel free to Google it, but essentially it's how the tobacco leaves are treated, how they are processed, and in the process of making what we see in these tins and in these pouches, the tobacco that you smoke, they actually will steam, sometimes press the tobacco leaves and put sugars in them. They'll put other things like honey, for example, to sweeten the leaf, sometimes to add moisture. So there's a lot of different things that kind of go in. It's kind of like beer or mead or wine. Like every little thing can go into the flavor of these different tobaccos. So I've got my Paul pipe today. And in my journey to find a vanilla tobacco that I like, I've got this Panna Cotta. It's a blend I found on pipesandscigars.com. I'll put a link in the description below. But pretty cool, pretty nice tin. Smells exactly like Panna Cotta. Some of this stuff, it smells so freaking good, it's crazy. But, you know, as an aromatic tobacco, that's what it's all about. So, what I'm going to do, and we'll see. I'm going to take the tobacco in here, okay? And I got this nice loose ribbon cut, and I'm going to take it out, and I've got a little mat in front of me here. Okay, so I just wanted to show this to you. So as I said, I was taking some of this out, and my mat, yes, it consists of a piece of paper. So what I'm doing here is I'm adding air to the tobacco. I'm aerating it, okay? So yeah, you get your fingers in here and you kind of play with your loose cut and your ribbon cut, and you can actually see there's different kind of like bits and pieces throughout here, okay? Now look at that, nice little chunk there. And essentially the goal with this, besides just, you know, aerating the tobacco, which this is something that's very important, especially if your tobacco is really moist or has a higher humidity content. If your tobacco is too humid, it's kind of like trying to start a fire on a humid day. I mean, it's going to smolder, and good luck keeping it lit. You know, same thing with this. We're kind of building a little fire. And what we want to do, you know, is we kind of aerate it. And usually, again, depending upon your blend, this I might have let sit out a little bit longer, but for the sake of this, we'll go with it. Kind of sort through these pieces, and we're going to kind of build up our own little layers of a fire here inside of our bowl. I want to finish this up and build my little fire, if you will, inside of my bowl. I'm going to switch the camera for a second. Okay. Anyway, so now I'm going to build this up. And there's a billion different ways to pack a pipe. I'm sure everybody has their own recommended method. I'm trying a few different ones myself. a buddy of mine that got me into this. My buddy Matthew. Shout out to him whenever he's going to start a YouTube channel. The method he showed me was take out your tobacco, kind of like I did here, and not even breaking up the pieces. You don't have to go through all that. There's something kind of therapeutic about just playing with the tobacco leaves, though. But you take some, and you would, right, pipe, take some tobacco, just kind of drop it in there, right, barely push down, barely, and we'll take a little bit more. Okay, putting it in there. Gonna pack that down a little tighter, just a little bit, and pick up whatever I have left here. Okay, so it's pretty well in there. I'm going to push that down even more. Now I do have, I'd say my bowl is probably 70% full. This Paul is a pretty nice sized bowl in here. But honestly, that's enough for me. You don't have to go crazy. You don't have to have this thing like packed to the top. You don't. And actually, you know what? I am going to take out just a little bit more, just for the sake of showing you the next step of lighting it. All right, so let me get a little bit more here. Okay, packing this in. There we go. All right, and that last part, kind of pack that in a bit more. Make it nice and firm. Okay. So essentially, you just keep increasing the amount that you're pushing your tobacco down and packing it. So you're starting out light, increasing your pressure when you're packing it, until finally you get a nice firm pack at the top. Again, there's a bunch of different methods to do it. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that says that's completely wrong. That's fine. Do what works for you. The other thing you want to do is kind of check to make sure that it's not like sucking down a milkshake. When you put your mouth to your mouthpiece and you pull air through, right? You want to make sure that the air feels like it's flowing easily in your mouth. Like it doesn't require you to suck or draw air through with any level of difficulty. So if that's the case, then you should be able to draw on your pipe easily and keep that smoldering tobacco going. Because if you can't get air into there, and when we develop our little ember, it's just going to end up going out constantly. Now, if this tobacco is too moist, too humid, it's going to go out on me anyway. So we'll see. And then of course lighting it, right? I got this pretty cool lighter. I don't know if you can see that. Got it on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description below. It was pretty cheap. When I say cheap, it's like 20 bucks, I think. But pretty cool. It's got pretty much everything you need. Your tamper. It's got a little aerator, right? And then this little guy that you can use to kind of clean out the bowl, which my Paul, which is a gift, I love it. But I realize that some of these tools, which is why you get a separate tamper and these tools, is they're not really deep enough. You see that? It doesn't go all the way down into the bowl. So, yeah, you know, it's a learning process. But the point of this is smoking the pipe, and it's the relaxation that you can get from just focusing on your breathing and focusing on the amazing aromatics that some of this stuff can provide. Again, you know, it's different for everybody. And this isn't me, you know, telling you that you should actually start doing this. I'm just saying what I like about it. All right, so as far as lighting it up, when I do this, I'm going to keep the heat going. There's one method that I think is really awesome, but it takes a long time, and that is you're just kind of getting that flame above the tobacco. I'm not even touching it to the tobacco, I'm just keeping it above, and that heat is going to warm up the tobacco. And if you did this long enough, that heat, without even touching it from the flame, would actually cause it to start to smolder. Because the trick here is we're not trying to burn tobacco leaves, we're trying to make them smolder and smoke. Which again, on a hot, humid day with a tobacco that's pretty moist, it's not the easiest thing to do. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a draw on it. Flame's going to go down in. I'm going to go around the bowl. I'm really going to get that nice and heated. And yes, I will be burning the tobacco. I know. We'll do our first light. Obviously, it's the first time you light it. We'll tamp it, and then we'll do our true light. Okay, that's the second light. And we're just trying to get an ember going, so. All right. I'm gonna lightly tamp that down, very lightly. Okay. So this is my second time trying this panna cotta, which, by the way, this humidity is not helping me. Neither is the flame on this right now. I'm trying to decide whether or not I like this blend of Burley, Virginia, and Black Cavendish. So 3 different types of tobaccos. And again, the Cavendish implies how it was processed. Love Cavendish. Cherry Cavendish is still my favorite. This Super Value, I like some of their stuff. Again, if you're going for a affordable option, you can go with the Super Value. But honestly, their vanilla is so light. Yeah. I don't know that I'd recommend it. This one, I have not tried it, but I love the MacBaron brand. They have an amazing Cherry Cavendish. Something else you'll notice. See all that smoke coming out? I'm actually breathing out of my nose while the pipe's in my mouth, and that air is traveling through the pipe, which can be another way to aerate your tobacco. Of course, it went out. Now, but again, it's not something to get hung up on. I have seen some very good pipe smokers fail to keep a pipe lit. That is not what we're doing here. We're not here to critique on how you light your pipe. Again, I've been doing this for a few weeks, so what do I know? Okay. That's not why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because aromatic pipe smoking, I think, while it's great to just come out and smoke this, it's also great as a shared experience. Because again, if you're not the one smoking and you get to just smell that, some of these aromas, oh, they're so good. Casey Jones has some great stuff. But I just think it's hard to go wrong with a cherry Cavendish. You know, when it's like the smell of a warm cherry pie. It's amazing. Some of this stuff, it's just like, man, how do you make it smell? I mean, to have it smell like Panna Cotta, it's wild. Trust me, once I get enough of this to heat up, I'll be able to keep it lit. But so right now I've got kind of like a nice level of ash on the top of my pipe, and it's smoldering right now. Again, just letting it smolder. It's funny. I'm looking at my neighbor's yard. There's actually a deer over there. Man, there really is nothing better than just sitting out in nature and enjoying a pipe. Yeah. Yeah, I think I like this Panna Cotta. I was on the fence at first, but man. I'm seriously, I'm looking at a baby deer right now. This thing's hilarious. Oh man, it's running off. Okay. Man. Yeah. I'll definitely leave a link in the description below for all these different tobaccos. But I think for me, vanilla is one of those things that's either like you hit it perfectly or it's a complete miss. And this Panna Cotta is pretty good. It's light, but the fragrance is, the smoke is, it's sweet enough that I think it's a good balance. I'm still not sure if I care for Burleys and Virginias. Virginias I think I'm okay with, but the Burley stuff I'm not sure. That's the other thing about pipe smoking, aromatics. It's kind of like if you're getting into drinking bourbons. When you first drink bourbon, it's just a lot of heat. But over time, the more you build up your palate, and you can pick out things, you develop your palate, right? You develop your senses. There's more you'll be able to pick up from them, and more enjoyment you'll get out of it. Yeah, that's pretty good. Man. There is a vanilla custard tobacco. You could look at some of the labels on these things, on these tins, and you might think like, Man, I don't know how that's tobacco, but like, you know, is this just like baked goods or something? I mean, but seriously, some of the stuff, it just smells so good. But I have a vanilla custard. I think I like that more. I like that one more than the panna cotta. And I'd have to look up where I got that one. Buttered rum. That's another one that I have. That's really good. I'll go over all these at some point. I've got, that's like with pipe tobaccos. I feel like once you get a pipe, and if you enjoy it, if you enjoy this, then you'll quickly find how easy it is to acquire more tobacco than you need, more pipes than you need, pipe accessories, you know. So, yeah. If you're the kind of person that when you start buying stuff, you go whole ham into it, take it one step at a time. You know, if you buy tobacco, you can buy it by the ounce. If you go to pipes and cigars, again, they have a huge selection. You just go on there, buy something that you think sounds good. Personally, I would start, if it was me recommending it to a buddy of mine, I would start with a Cavendish, whether that's black Cavendish or cherry Cavendish. Because those, from what I know so far, those are generally your sweeter, aromatic tobaccos. It's literally just how they're processed. And some other things that they put into the process, like I said, like honey and sugars and other things, that just bring out those flavors. Or encapsulize those flavors, I guess might be a good way to put it. So, what I'm going to do, because what I was saying is still smoldering a little bit, I'm going to use my aerator. Tiny little pick. I'm going to go in here. I'm not going to touch the sides, but I'm just going to put a couple holes in there. That's the other thing I noticed on this haul is, because my aerator is so short. The last time I did this, I ended up pushing some tobacco down into here. And then I found that I couldn't draw on it anymore. It was like sucking down a milkshake, which you don't want. This is one channel where I swear if you had like scent-o-vision and you could smell these. I will say the smell can be deceiving though. There are some of these tobaccos that I've gotten where you open up the can or the pouch or whatever and it smells great, and then you go to smoke it and it's like, okay, well, sounded better than it actually smelled. So yeah, between cherry Cavendish and there's an apricot and cream, which I believe I got. I think it's a Sutliff, which is the brand. Sutliff apricots and cream. I mean, that stuff. It's like someone just gives you a bowl of apricots and cream to dip it in. I mean, that's exactly what it smells like. And there is a little bit of taste to it. There's not a whole lot of taste to aromatic tobaccos. I mean, you're always going to get, you know, like the tobacco leaf, you know, kind of like that green flavor, but some more than others. And some people's palates, some people will pick it up more than others, and some people will just be turned off by it. But I could have brought out one of my smaller pipes. Wasn't sure how long I was going to be out here though. So right now, in my mouth, and because I didn't cook this, okay, so if you're going to town on this and you're just burning the heck out of these leaves, trust me, you will alter the flavor and it will taste gross. You don't want to burn your tobacco. If you're sitting there and you got a small pipe and you're just filling it and pushing it down and just trying to load up as much tobacco as you can, you're not going to have a good time. You're not going to have enough airflow. You're going to constantly keep relighting your pipe, which, yes, I know I've been doing that. But like I said, I should have let this tobacco sit out a little bit because it is a bit humid. It's also humid outside, which is, you know, not a huge contributing factor, but it's getting there. Yeah. Like I said, you sit outside, you don't have to fill your bowl up. You don't have to get a behemoth like this. I just think it looks good with my beard. I mean, seriously. I mean, look at that. Alright? Well, come on. Alright. Well, let's see. Yeah, so now I've got a good amount of ash on top here. But I haven't really gotten that ember. And the taste for me right now, it's kind of sweet, almost a little bit of vanilla. A bit of that green tobacco-y flavor. But it's not bitter, at least not to my palate. It's not hot on my tongue or in my mouth, my bowl, okay? I can touch my bowl to my face. And it's not, I can tell that it's not hot, so I know I haven't heated my bowl too much. Okay, if you touch your bowl to your face and it's like, ooh, okay, that feels hot, it's too hot. You need to stop lighting your tobacco. And you need to be careful with your bowl. I mean, these pipes are sensitive, man. These small little things, they're very easy to damage if you don't take care of them properly. I want to check my airflow. Go in here again. Kind of aerate it a bit. Not trying to pack it down, just trying to get some air in there. Yep. It's definitely a journey of exploration with these tobaccos, that's for sure. But it's one I'm enjoying. And if you're looking to get into smoking pipe tobacco, well, hopefully stay tuned to the channel. And if my buddy ever decides to start his YouTube channel, which I think he should, because he's the one who got me into pipe smoking. I'll definitely send you guys his way, because he knows a lot about this stuff, and there's so much more for me to learn, especially with all the different packing methods and the different types of pipes, how to store your pipe, how to cellar your tobaccos, store them for long periods of time. There's so much to it, which I think is kind of one of the cool aspects of smoking a pipe. Well, I enjoy it. Maybe next time I'll be a little bit more prepared with my camera too. It's a new setup for me. So, well, that's all I got to say. So, I'm going to sit here. I'm going to smoke my pipe. If you want to stick with me, cool, man. It's fine by me. I'm not going anywhere. If you don't, good seeing you.